The Detroit Lions look to not be big-time spenders in free agency. Welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with Mike or Mike. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. In this video, we're going to be talking about NFL free agency, specifically what the Lions are going to do and or what they're not going to do, thanks to an interview by Chris Spielman on 97.1 The Ticket. When he did his interview, he expressed why the Detroit Lions are not going to be big-time spenders in free agency. The Lions have many issues of why this is going to occur. One being the Lions are currently over the cap a little bit, and we're unable to get big-time free agents on the free agent market. The Lions have individuals they want to re-sign, one being Kenny Galladay. What are they going to do there? They're either going to re-sign him and or looks to franchise tag him, and that is going to cost around $16.4 million. Quite a bit of money, and when you're over the cap, it's going to be hard to sign more free agents with such a big number there. When we come to the Detroit Lions here and what they're going to do, they also got another free agent in Romeo Okwara. The Lions will probably attempt to sign him. Still not 100% sure if it's going to get done and or not, but he is a young pass rusher at 25, and he played in all 16 games, 10 sacks, 32 solo, and 3 forced fumbles. He will be coveted in the NFL if he hits the free agent market. One must understand that young pass rushers are very much well liked in the NFL. It's hard to come by, and it will be a situation where the Lions will look to see if they can re-sign him, possibly. But I think what's more about free agency is not the additions that's going to take place, but it's going to be the subtractions. I think you're going to see quite a bit of players that we've seen last year not going to be on the team in this upcoming season because we are over the cap. We do want to sign Kenny Galladay and franchise tag him. So that means there's going to be individuals probably not going to be on this team here this upcoming year. We're talking about the Jesse James, the Desmond Trufants, players such as that. So the Lions are unable to get the big-time names added to the team. What could we look at for the free agency period? Well, I think we're going to be looking at B, C type players, individuals to complement the NFL draft. Hit that like button, folks. It's important to hit that like button. The more likes you get, the more chance that this video gets out and more individuals can hear their information regarding the Detroit Lions because, folks, a lot of people are deprived of that information because of the legacy media. They don't talk about it. Maybe they're new to YouTube and don't understand. So go ahead and hit that like button. Remember, Chris Spielman stated in his interview, you build through the draft and you complement pieces via free agency. So I think that's what we're going to see from this. We're going to find individuals who can be role players for the Lions, not necessarily big-time starters. I don't think we're going to see the Jamie Collins, the Trey Flowers, the Jesse James. We're going to see more names that are going to be much cheaper and complement the pieces that we do via the NFL draft. And that's important because just like Chris Spielman said, that's how you build a football team. Yes, you can be like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where you are big spenders in free agency. With that said, they were much closer to competing for a championship than the Lions. Remember, the Lions are in rebuild/retool mode. Spending big money in free agency is not really going to bring them over the top. It really would not, because we need a lot of help. And I believe when you get that help, you need to start young here and build correctly. Once you have a competitive team, that's when you can be more big spenders in the draft to take a team over the top. It's just really important to understand that from where we are at as a football team, we can't spend the big time money, the big contracts, the signing the Trey Flowers, and be a competitive football team for years to come. The Lions cap situation is not good this year. However, it does get better next year, and it does definitely get better in 2 years. And I think that's where the Lions then will be a more competitive football team, and you can see them be probably bigger spenders then to help take them over the top, to help compete for a playoff spot. to really make this team a better football team and something that can compete in the NFL for a playoff spot and or more. But right now, the team is not in that situation. Financially, we're not. Competitive aspect, we're not. And generally, overall, we're a team in transition. And when you're a team in transition, that is probably not the best idea to be big-time spenders. What the situation we're going to be looking at is simply, can we re-sign our own guys? That's the situation we need to monitor, the Kenny Galladay situation. Again, we did everything regarding the Detroit Lions, trading Matthew Stafford, getting the draft picks. The next situation for Brad Holmes is to get Kenny Galladay under contract and see if they can get Romeo Okwara. Then we can really look towards, what are the Lions going to do complementary? What can they do to start to build this defense, but on the cheap? That is definitely what the Lions really need to focus on. A running back 2/running back 3. Are they going to find a running back in free agency, or will they do that during the draft? But I would not expect a big name anywhere besides our own names coming here. Look for individuals to be pieces. And I don't believe that to be a bad thing at all. I think it's really important to look at this from a financial perspective and understand this team needs to compete. But if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Why do you want to subscribe to the channel? Because I'm dropping content every single day. And if you don't subscribe, you're going to miss out on that content. You're not going to get notifications. You're going to be inability to be the first to find out about information. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 13,000 subscribers. I think we can get it done with your help. And when we don't spend money big in this free agency, do not blame Brad Holmes. Do not blame Dan Campbell. And definitely do not blame Chris Spielman here. You need to blame Quinn Trisha, because what they did with Halapoulivaati Vaitai's contract and Trey Flowers' contract and Jesse James' contract was very hard on the Lions cap. It really hurt this team financially because the dead cap from these players, at least from Halapoulivaati Vaitai and Trey Flowers, you cannot release them because the dead cap is so high. And it really hurt the team. With those contracts on the books, the Lions are unable to get better players to help the team. Now, Quinn Trisha, they made some good free agent moves in the past, but those ones were not good moves at all. Regarding the contract, not the player themselves, we can debate that, but I'm talking about the contract was very bad, and it really hurt the football team. That is why we're in this situation right now. The Trey Flowers big-time cap hit. The Halapoulivaati Vaitai big-time cap hit. And Jared Goff's cap situation is fairly big itself. With that said, he's a quarterback. You kind of expect that. But players such as Desmond Trufant, we can get away from those contracts. We can release him, and that will save some money. Same with the Jesse James. We can get rid of him, whether you trade him or not. Just as long as he's not on the football team, we can get away from it, and it will save money. So that's how we're going to be doing in free agency. I think we're going to be doing more releases. I think that's going to be more of the moves that's going to take notice more than the additions, is the players leaving this football team, and there's going to be quite a bit of players doing so. Also, we got to look at Justin Coleman. Is he worthy to be on the team? Is his contract worthy of him to play that nickel spot? Now, that's not my decision to make. That's just a question that Brad Holmes is going to have to look at, because we can get away from him, and it's going to save some good money. If you've seen my cap video, you can understand these players, by them not being on the football team, helps the Lions out financially, and we're going to have to cut some of these guys. We're going to have to trade some of these guys. They're going to have to be off this team for the moves to be made, not just for the Kenny Galladay, not just for Romeo Okwara, not just for the free agents that we do pick up in free agency, but we got to have to sign the people in the NFL draft as well. So this is a situation where if you are frustrated with the lack of big names, and I guarantee you there's going to be frustrations, do not blame Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Look straight at Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. It's going to take This year is probably going to be the worst when it comes to free agency and the cap situation. It will get a little bit better next year, and then the following year it will be much better for our leadership to get individuals in free agency to help make this team better. But this year, be a little bit of a letdown, and Chris Spielman said it on his interview. He said it, and he is correct. The assets that we're going to get, the play on the field that we're going to get, it will come eventually because we're going to have to build through the draft. And sometimes draft prospects are not immediate like a veteran player, but they have the upside and their ceiling is much higher. We got to be patient with that. We got to be patient with this retool mode. I know we've talked about patience, and being a Lions fan, been patient since 1957. I am with you for sure. But remember, these guys, our leadership, got a team that was wrecked from the roster to the financial situation, and that is something that they're going to have to deal with. And it started with when they got the job, and it's going to continue to build upon that in free agency, turning this thing around. In the upcoming videos, I do have some very good videos coming about the NFL draft, some prospects coming up. Can't wait to talk about that. I do have videos on specific targets of free agency. I've done it before, and it's going to be happening again, so get ready for that. And on Thursday, we got the One Pride podcast at 6:30 p.m. EST every single Thursday. It's a fun time mailbag segment where you guys run the show. You got questions. We have answers. Have people from other YouTube channels come on. It's a great time. Make sure you hit that notification bell.